Alright, hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about I think this is the latest horror movie yet we've talked about, because we've all just talked about like these 80s, 90s movies, but this movie that we're going to talk about is actually from this year. We're going to talk about the movie Him. This movie has been in a mixed bag recently. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really know much about this movie before like the week I saw it, even though the trailer had come out I think like a month or two ago. It came out in September this year, and it was getting it was getting very popular because it had Jordan Peele's name attached to it, and I'm sure you guys know who Jordan Peele is. He's a comedian and also a director. He made the movies Nope, Us, Get Out. I think he made Get Out. And this is his quote-unquote latest movie, and a lot of people were very excited for this movie because it's Jordan Peele. Everybody loves Jordan Peele. And after the movie came out, people were actually being very negative on it. And I think a reason for that is because Jordan Peele is just the producer. He's not the writer or the director. And I can kind of see people's confusion because if you look at a lot of the promotional posters, it has, they always have like taglines and words on them. And it says usually at the top, like, from famous producer Jordan Peele, and that's the biggest name aside from the title. It doesn't even show the director's name. The director's Justin Tipping. One of the I think it's Justin Tipping. But it doesn't even show his name on the poster, or at least it does, but it's very, very tiny. And that's an important thing to note. But we're gonna get into this movie now. So the movie, just a quick summary of it. It is about this young football star, this young up-and-coming rising football player who just got an offer from his childhood hero football player Isaiah White. The kid's name is Cameron, by the way. And he just suffered a brain injury. And once he gets this offer, he thinks everything is cool, he's gonna train with his childhood hero, everything's gonna be awesome. But as the movie goes on and he continues to train with Isaiah, things begin to grow darker and darker, and then we see the truth of why Isaiah has done all this. Alright, so the movie begins off with this. It's like a flashback of Cameron when he was younger. Him and his mom and dad are watching a football game, and Isaiah's playing in it, and they're they're all rooting for him. Cameron has a bunch of posters of Isaiah, and he's a big fan of Isaiah. And then during the game, he really messes up his leg, and for a split second you can see the bone just popping out of his leg. That's honestly, I think that's the goriest thing in this movie. There's something that happens later on, but I don't think it's as bad as the leg thing. When it comes to bones, for me, when I see bones, that's freaky. But they only showed it for a little bit, so it wasn't that bad. But that was pretty cool. And we time skip to when Cameron's an adult now, and he's very famous, or he's getting very famous. He's getting a bunch of offers from all these different leagues and other companies that they want to play with him. And we cut to this scene where he's training on a football field at his school. It's nighttime out, and he's just playing by himself, and he notices a football behind him is just spinning on its tip, and it's just spinning really fast, and he's really confused and he's weirded out by it because footballs don't do that, I guess. And nobody was even around him. So he goes to pick it up, and then we see this I don't even know what to describe this, but it's this guy standing behind him in this big costume, and he's painted black and white, I think, and he's holding this bat type weapon, and he hits him in the back of the head. And that gives him, I think, a brain injury, so he has to get like stitches in the back of his head when he wakes up. And once he's like with his family, he's still ensuring them that he's still good to play football. He doesn't want to stop. So he continues to play even though he's still pretty severely injured. And I think like during this party scene, he gets the offer that, you know, he can go train with Isaiah because Isaiah sees something in him, and he accepts it. So he gets like all this special treatment, and he gets all escorted to in the middle of nowhere, in just like a desert area. It's completely dense, like there's just sand everywhere, nobody's out here. And as he gets to the location of where Isaiah lives in the desert, Cameron, while he's in the car, he looks out the window and there's a bunch of like these crazy redneck fans that like kind of like are around Isaiah's home. They're like screaming at Cameron, being like, "You'll never be like him," or I think like, "You'll never replace him," stuff like that. And Cameron takes this kind of like as if this is like nothing. He's like, "Man, this is weird," and he just passes it off after that. Yeah, very crazy people. And so the driver arrives at Isaiah's house, and it's a very like brutalist looking house. It's just like, it does not look inviting at all. And I think this is actually where some of the complaints might come in, because a lot of movies have done this before, but we'll get into that later. So he goes inside. The place is very, very, very minimalist. It looks like just like an art piece. His house just looks like an art piece. There's just random stuff around that try to make it look cool, I guess. And Isaiah meets up with him, and once they encounter, you can like immediately tell that Isaiah is not a normal dude. Just the way he talks and just his whole like demeanor is, you can tell that there's like something sinister inside him. And he demands, well, not demands, but he tells Cameron that, "Oh, we don't do phones in here. You're gonna be like completely focused on football and stuff." And Cameron is like, again, he's like kind of weirded out by it, but I guess he does it. So him and Isaiah, they begin to train hard. Isaiah has this like he kind of has like a football field inside of his house. It looks really sick, by the way. I'm not huge on football at all, but it looks pretty cool. And during one of his training sessions, I think, I can't quite remember what he was training for. I think he was like catching a ball and just throwing it as fast as he could. But Isaiah is like sitting in front of him, and one of his like Isaiah's friends-ish, the guy, he decides to stand in front of this. I know what it is. It's like you put a football in and it just shoots it out quickly. It's like a machine. I'm sure one of you know what I'm talking about, but he stands in front of it, and if Cameron misses, or every time Cameron misses, or he's not like completely focused in and he doesn't do it quick enough, the football will shoot out and it hits the guy right in the face. And this is like putting a lot of pressure on Cameron, because he's like, "What are you doing? Like, why are you guys doing this to him?" And as Cameron tries to focus, he just keeps losing focus, because this guy is getting like hit brutally in the face by a football, like coming so quick at his face. So as Cameron keeps trying to like do this, he keeps messing up, and this guy's face is just getting all like super bloody, and he's like losing teeth, his eyes getting bruised. You can feel like the impact of all the footballs hitting his face. Like it sounds very hard thumps. And by the last time, Cameron like really focuses in, because he doesn't want this guy to die. And yeah, he focuses, he gets the football, and he throws it as quick as possible. And this finally satisfies Isaiah, and he has this kind of like this sociopath reaction. Like that's what Isaiah is. He's like a psycho sociopath, whatever. And Cameron goes to check on the guy that was just getting like destroyed by the football machine. His whole face is just all bloody, like Cameron asks him if he's okay, and his friends are also just weirdos because the guy, he's like, yeah, of course, man, and his face is torn up. Like he's fine, I guess. Like he just took all that beating just to make Isaiah happy. So from that first, not first training, but that was like a weird setting point for Cameron because he doesn't really know what to think of it. Like he doesn't know if he should be like, what are we actually doing here, or if he should just keep going. And he does decide to just keep going. So as the days go by, Isaiah just starts to become really, really weird. Like he's giving all these just strange speeches to Cameron, being like, you're gonna be the greatest. Using weird terms, examples, comparisons, and stuff like that. And during all of this, he's getting like these injections of this like mystery fluid inside him by like Isaiah's, I don't know, like butler or something like that. And they never tell Cameron what that stuff is. They're just being like, oh, this is gonna help you, don't worry about it, it's to relieve the pain or stuff like that. But it feels like it's an adrenaline rush to Cameron, and he doesn't question it. I don't know why they would just let him do that, but he's a superstar. What are you gonna do? So much later in the film, Isaiah's girlfriend, who I forgot to mention, she's also, actually at times she seems more normal than Isaiah, but you can tell that she's also a freakazoid like him. Perfect match, I guess. And during this huge party scene, I think Cameron was like drinking, but he also had like a ton of those like mystery shots that the guy was giving to him, and he's just like moving around the room, everything's shaky, and like he doesn't know what's going on. And I think this might, I'm trying to remember what goes on, but Cameron is like freaking out a lot, and he's trying to search for Isaiah. And this is near the end of the film, where Isaiah is waiting for him in this room, and he's like watching his old footage, I think, and Cameron is going to kill him because I think he realized what's going on, and he's even gonna use like one of Isaiah's old trophies. It's like a sharp diamond, or it's like a sharp glass award, and he's about to attack Isaiah, but Isaiah quickly stops it from happening. And he gives this whole monologue to Cameron, and Cameron discovers that the substance that he's been getting was actually Isaiah's blood. So they've just been like sharing blood with each other, and it was like seriously messing up Cameron's health. So they have that whole monologue, and they quickly begin to fight. And this is one of the things I actually like in the movie that they do, is whenever like really hard things clash, like a head bump, they show like an x-ray of it, kind of like Mortal Kombat, where they show the bones breaking. And they did that earlier, but in this scene they do it as well. And this part cringed me out because again, it's with bones, like muscles twisting and stuff. But Isaiah gets the upper hand on Cameron, and he like bends his arm so far back, and you can hear the crack. And Cameron's arm is just totally messed up. But as Isaiah's distracted because he thinks he got Cameron down, Cameron, he quickly gets back up, and he just like begins to slaughter Isaiah with a football helmet, one of his own football helmets. And this kills Isaiah. Like, Isaiah's dead now. And this next scene, I was not expecting at all, because I didn't see this coming. But he like walks out onto this field, and he's all covered in blood. Like he's completely covered in blood. And as he's walking out, there's this stage kind of, his girlfriend is there, and then there's a bunch of these like businessmen that are wearing like devilish masks, and Isaiah's girlfriend is asking him to sign a contract to be like the next Isaiah, pretty much. And Cameron is debating it, like he doesn't sign it, but he doesn't not sign it, like he's just thinking about stuff. And he discovers that one of the horsemen were his own dad, was his I think grandpa or his dad. You can correct me on that. But he feels betrayed, and he grabs one of like the like this huge sword, or I think it was a bat. It was one of the two. I think it was a sword though. He carries it and he just begins to slaughter each one of these like members one by one. Isaiah's girlfriend like accidentally kills herself with the outfit she's wearing because there were huge spikes on it, but that part was pretty funny. But he just slaughters all of these men. There's blood spraying everywhere. Like, I did not expect this scene at all. Like, it was a huge turning point. And when Isaiah, he spares this one guy, it was like his manager that also turned on him, I think, and he leaves him to die, or no, he lets him live, but then he gets dragged onto like the stage that has a pentagram on it, and then he explodes. Like, I think that part was kind of dumb, actually. I didn't really like that one. But Isaiah, or Cameron, he just begins to walk away, and he's just covered in blood. And I think it's safe to say that he might have become the next Isaiah, because he also started to look crazy, if he didn't already. But that wrapped up the movie, and I can understand complaints after I watched it, because to be honest, it does seem very generic. Like, it is a pretty standard storyline for a thriller. And you know, like, somebody's getting help or trained from this guy that they know, but it slowly becomes darker and darker. That's been done many times, and it's not really that different in here. It's just football instead. And yeah, I think another part is what I mentioned earlier, is when people think that this is a Jordan Peele movie. It's not. He just produced it. He did not write or direct it. And this is Justin's like big breakout movie, and I think part of that is because Jordan Peele is attached to it. But in my opinion, honestly, I liked it. I really did like it. I don't like football at all. I'm gonna just say that. I came into the movie honestly thinking I wasn't gonna like it, because I just think football was so boring, and changed my mind. You know, I love horror, and this was able to make football interesting to me. Sorry if that offends any football players out there, but yeah, it's called Him. I think it's still in theaters right now. You should go out and see it. Honestly, I did enjoy it. Even if you're not a football fan, I think you'd enjoy it. It's pretty fun. Yeah, that concludes this video. Thanks for watching, guys.